Are you as dumb as me? Probably not, because I'm the most smartest. That's why I decided, not them, me, to use Anchor.fm for our podcast. It's been the most easiest way for us to do our thing.
You vid.
Also, it's free, and we've established that I'm broke, right? Oh, no? Well, I am. And I bet you are too if you're thinking about starting a podcast. I bet you're so broke that you don't even have a custom-built home studio.
With your broke ass.
Doesn't matter, because Anchor FM works right off your phone or your computer. That's right. I know what you're thinking. Crazy Uber Ramblings podcast that you've been mulling around in your head for a little while now. It's possible.
Hey, guys, so where are we going today, guys?
Hey, can we go to that place, Pulaski, Tennessee, where the birthplace of,
No. Could you please exit my vehicle, sir? Thank you.
And something amazing like that will be immediately put out everywhere. Not only the biggies, but places you don't even know exist. Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public. What even are
fuck
those?
is that?
I don't know. Now, let's talk money. I knew that'd get your attention. You can make money with no minimum listenership, right? So let's think about Uncle Jimmy Ray.
I love it.
He loves it so much that Crazy Uber Ramblings, he starts paying a monthly subscription, and companies start paying you to talk about their shit. Now you're rolling in it. So are you the smartest and want to use a site that has all you need in one place? Then you should use Anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.FM. Come on, dummy. Do it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. As always, this episode is made possible by our local convenience stores, the misappropriation of history, and you. And now to your hosts, Justin Hammonds, Grant Bramlett, and Drew Shellnut.
What's up? What's happening, world? This is Season 2, Episode 1 of a podcast called Friends, Facts, and Fiction. I'm Justin Hammonds, and I'm looking at my boy Drew Shellnut.
What up?
And my boy Grant Bramlett.
Hey.
And we're coming back at you with these hot facts out here. Today we're going to talk about everything aquatic, or most things aquatic, I guess, right?
Aquatic.
Yeah, Drew, did you ever remember what you titled this one?
He had a dope title, and
It was great.
it kind of floated away in the ether one night.
Yeah, it totally did. It floated away in ether or smoke. Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about some sea gypsies, the infamous and mysterious Atlantis, and the possibility that, is it a real place?
Ooh.
Was it a real place?
I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, we back, man. And, thank for everybody that's listening in. We got some people from Singapore, I believe, listening now.
Yeah.
France, Puerto Rico, Ireland, all the places around the world. We love all y'all.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to do a little news story, I think, real quick.
Oh, yeah, something I did want to cover I thought was really pretty cool. I'm going to just be going off a Huffington Post article here. Gay men hijack Proud Boys hashtag and powerful social media campaign.
Stand back and stand by.
These new version Proud Boys are standing by B.I. with one wag.
Oh my God, this is perfect.
So yeah, gay men launched a savvy campaign over the weekend to appropriate the hashtag of the white supremacist Proud Boys with a tsunami of touching images and messages on social media. The Love Resistance movement sent Proud Boys zooming into the trending stratosphere. But the posts were riddled with disturbing images and hate-spewing messages by the group Donald Trump told to stand by after he was asked to condemn white supremacists
jackass,
at
bro.
last week's presidential debate, if you want to call that a presidential debate.
Right.
God.
It's terrible.
Apparently he finally renounced the Proud Boys days later after a huge backlash, which That's probably him just
No, he said, I don't even know. I don't know who they are.
Oh, right,
I've
right,
never
yeah.
heard. I've never heard of them. I don't know who they are.
total
Like,
denial.
what?
Yeah.
Bro, you backpedaling way too hard, dog. Like, come on. Anyway, that dude is a fucking joke.
But instead, these Proud Boys Twitter posts were filled with photos of embraces and wedding scenes and expressions of love. In honor of the campaign, the official Twitter account of the Canadian Armed Forces in the U.S. posted an image of a service member kissing his partner with emojis of Canada's flag, the rainbow flag, and the rehabbed Proud Boys hashtag. Love is love, piped up the Royal Canadian Navy.
That's so crazy, bro. Like, man, it's just
So
what is
awesome.
this year, dog? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this shit has been such a fucking.
It's not clear who launched
Twilight
the
Zone.
you're telling me, man. It's not clear who launched the movement, but Star Trek veteran George Takei appeared to be one of the first to pitch the idea on Thursday.
My guy.
Takei posted a photo Sunday with his husband of 12 years. We're proud of all of the gay folks who have stepped up to reclaim our pride in this campaign. Bobby Burke, one of the hosts of the Netflix series Queer Eye, tweeted, "Look at these cute little Proud Boys," and included a photo with his husband. Retweet and make this hashtag about love, not hate.
That's fucking awesome. Now, they really should have thought about that slogan there.
Oh yeah. Should have,
Proud
especially the proud part.
Yeah. So Enrique
That's great.
Terrio, the leader of the hater Proud Boys, claimed that he found the movement hysterical. He told CNN, "This isn't something that's offensive to us. We don't care who people sleep with. People think it's going to bother us. It doesn't." But he obviously appeared to miss the point of replacing the group's message of hate with love. If it's successful, it's not Terrio's gang that people will think of when they hear the name. Instead, they'll envision rainbow flags and making out.
Yep.
It also turned out that Terrio and his boys weren't so cool with the love resistance after all. He griped on Parler that his group has been banned from Twitter since 2008, so he has to use a social media platform called Parler. That
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, that the left was trying to turn the Proud Boys' name into a slur, Forbes reported. Other followers were apoplectic.
A slur, you say? Mm-hmm. Like Karen? That's a slur, right?
Yeah.
That's hateful speech right there, right? Anyway, that's a dope ass story. Yeah. Way to flip that on his head. Shouts out to all my Proud Boys out there. Straight up.
Yeah, seriously.
That's fantastic.
That's fucking great. Well, we're going to keep this thing rolling and going. We got a SOD.
Song of the day of the week.
OW.
Yeah.
Song of the day of the week of the
crack
of the beer.
Hey,
That got a little rowdy. Hold
that
on.
did get a little rowdy. Well, it is called slap
Slap fight.
Slap
from
fight.
Atlanta, Georgia, which we'll talk about Atlanta soon.
Atlanta,
Anyway,
Georgia.
song of the day by
It's going to be Little People
Yeah, it's
is
Drew's
the
turn, yeah.
artist, and the song is called Start Shooting.
Start Show.
He told me it's a song almost specifically for me. Let's find out why.
Dope. I almost started freestyling
Super
for
dope.
a second. Yeah, I really dig that track, man. So there's no lyrics. It's just like a straight up vibe.
It's just a vibe, man. I was just feeling it. You know?
great.
I didn't feel like I needed to,
Think about some lyrics.
I don't have to worry about what they're always talking about.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about.
And then Grant can just listen to the drum track and not even worry about
Well, yeah,
somebody
and
saying something.
you can, that's the beautiful thing about music without lyrics is you can interpret it how you will, regardless of what situation you're in or who you are.
For sure.
The lyrics don't matter.
Love
And-
that upright bass part.
Yeah, I do too.
Super dope.
I actually
Dude, that thing
haven't
is resonant,
noticed
boy.
it. I've never noticed it that pronounced because I've never listened to it through headphones. I've only listened to it through
sexy.
my phone at work.
Right.
For the past, umpteen years. But yeah. It's really dope.
Super dope stuff, man.
Good vibes.
And check that out. Little People.
Yeah,
Start
Little
a
People.
show.
If you don't know them,
Bang, bang. Get your vibes right out here.
mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to slide into these hot facts about these sea gypsies, as we call them.
Sea gypsies.
Drew found this cool-ass story about
Yeah, I did. I was
some dope-ass people.
I was watching, I think it was through Prime, the Down the Prime Rabbit Hole, which I feel like I've watched almost every geographical documentary that they have to provide at this point.
Yeah, that's worth the shit because there's some
there's some doo-doo ones out there.
Off-key joints. And they're like, bro, who paid y'all to work a camera?
Mm-hmm.
Right? This shit is awful.
But I found one called The Vanishing, I think it's The Vanishing World of the Sea Gypsies or The Vanishing Kingdom, of something like that. Check it out. It's on Prime. But it opted me to do this subject.
Swear.
Which is the Sea Gypsies.
Tell us about them, Drew.
I won't. I'm just gonna keep. I'm just gonna keep doing.
Keep teasing.
This is,
Yeah,
so I think they're the Sea
and,
Gypsies. So anyway, this plays along with our aquatic theme today. The Moken is what they call themselves. They're spread from Thailand to Myanmar and traditionally live directly on the water in kabangs, their own invented boat. It's shaped like it's essentially a fish. The way they have it set up, the boat they have it set up like it has fins. It has even an anus to it. It has a mouth. They even refer to, back before they were more landlocked, they referred to each other as like, "Oh, your fish is about to attack my fish."
Interesting.
Something. Yeah, kind of a deal. I don't know. But it.
One, what's the purpose of the anus? And two, is it important enough to list that second?
No. It actually should have been important enough for me to list it first.
We're definitely weird enough for you to say that first, for sure.
Yeah, that's why the troller motor hangs out now.
Has to something with the buoyancy of the boat, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
something. I don't know. I'm not. I only watched a documentary and read up a little bit.
Or is that a little joke, you know?
It might be.
Hey.
The anus.
I mean, that'd be pretty great if it had that kind of sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, this the coastline that they live along is called is on the coast of the Andaman Sea, which, like I said, is from Thailand to Myanmar. So it's in an area where there's about 800 little bitty islands.
Oh, got you.
Mm-hmm. And I'll get there. But there's a lot of debate about the history of these people due to the fact that their history is passed down orally instead of recorded. And due to the Austronesian language, many scholars believe they originated in southern China as agriculturalists around 5,000 to 6,000 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, right?
That is wild.
Most theories deal with them being forced south due to the rising sea levels, which is where I brought up the 800 islands.
Yeah, makes sense.
Apparently, those weren't there before, but that's where they just kind of bounced around.
Of course.
They now inhabit these 800 islands. That's all of them, which is pretty cool. And most of these places have been deemed natural sanctuaries now that they can't be fucked with, but other things have fucked with them, and I'll get to that as well. They're definitely green. They use minimally invasive tools such as spears, nets, and rope to live their lives, and not much else. And they never overcultivate an area.
So is it like a coating of algae on the skin that causes the green color of the peoples?
Yeah. And I guess
really
it could be. I think actually it could be at this
They're
point.
definitely green.
They could. It could be the ocean pollution at this point.
Who knows?
Maybe
yeah.
so.
Because in that area, especially, their shit's getting fucked.
They're in the water, my guy.
Yeah, they're green, man. Ass.
Got him.
Anyway. Like I said, they never overcultivate an area. Meaning once they get to they've plowed and tilled and done everything that they need to do and gotten a couple grow seasons out of the land, they don't want to turn it. And they move
rotate.
because there's over 800 islands.
Yeah, you rotate. You know what I'm
They
saying?
can just move around. Yeah. They live in family groups between 2 and 10 families on these little islands, where they move to the different locations, like I said, where they need land to rest. They're technically considered hunter-gatherers because of their lack of tools and nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah, of course.
They also believe everyone has ownership of all natural resources, and they cannot be owned by any individual, which is pretty dope.
Nice.
Essentially, everyone should have.
Yeah, everyone is, given this world.
We all have,
nobody owns this
rights
world.
as a human,
Right. Yeah.
not just political bullshit. Unfortunately, their nomadic ways, they're being left behind in the struggle for fishing and stuff. Hence the green skin. With the pollution. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
The green skin, Jesus.
To try to keep up, they are having to send their children to schools, invest in technology and technological advances like the troller motor, like I said, that hangs out of the anus of that fish, and trade and barter with local fishermen and tourists. This sucks.
So the way of life is getting flipped on its head.
It's getting turned over because
pollution and overpopulation and people not giving a fuck about their lifestyle.
right,
basically.
and they're being forced by local and worldwide governments to have to bring their children to a literacy point by a certain time. I think it was by 2015, honestly, because this was a little older of a documentary, but it was super insightful.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if they've been getting by for 5,000 years,
way,
leave them be.
It's crazy, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, name another.
Well, it's like that. There's still like
Yeah.
a native tribe somewhere in the I want to say Caribbean or somewhere. So like they don't allow any outside people in. Like they attack anybody that comes ashore. Like
Hell yeah.
they throw spears at helicopters and shit, bro. Like they're still just nobody knows about them motherfuckers.
That's cool.
I forget the name of them, but maybe we'll cover them later this season. Who knows?
That sounds cool. Yeah.
The unusual interaction with like tourists and fishermen and stuff like that also has started killing them off. Not just flipped them on their heads, but it started killing them off because of cholera and smallpox.
Oh yeah,
Right.
People
Yeah.
with diseases.
Yeah, right.
Now living naturally.
Get there again.
Yeah, right.
Although they have a pretty good way of dealing with these things, at least for nomadic peoples. They essentially quarantine the infected people, and the healthy people move to a new region. Quarantine.
Yeah.
The style of distancing from danger is also used in their conflicts. Say if a person or group has a qualm, one of the families will just move to another group within their indigenous groups along the islands. Sometimes after time has passed, the two can can get along. They'll move back to,
Let bygones be bygones. type of
but
vibe.
that's not always the case,
Of course not. People
I mean,
be people.
At least they have like the wherewithal to say, "I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here
Yeah,
for a
like,
while.
Yeah.
I'm not
If
just
not forever."
I'm not just gonna sit in this fucking anger and despair. I'm just gonna go over here, bro.
Yeah.
Like we cool.
Yeah.
Just be cool. You
Instead
stay
of
here.
killing you, I'm just not gonna talk to you anymore.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Hashtag cut off.
Yeah.
Just cut you off, player.
But my favorite thing about these guys is their underwater abilities.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the
This
good
is
shit.
this is the stuff that you're actually gonna. Oh, okay. He's just talking about some random shit now. This is the cool shit.
Everyone
Other than the
at
fact
home
that
and
they're
in their cars, like, get to the fucking point, Drew. God.
come on. Yeah. Anyway, they have twice the underwater vision than normal humans and can hold their breath for 5 fucking minutes.
That's what you said. You said underwater vision.
Underwater
Did I hear that
vision.
right? Oh my god.
Their
That's
corneas
awesome.
and retinas are not curved at the angle that ours are, to where they can see underwater twice as well as we can.
What?
So this
So
is like,
essentially, you're putting on goggles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
so Stan Lee wasn't playing when he talking about Aquaman, right? So like this shit's real out here, cuz.
Yeah. And they use like
What's that, Stan Lee? Wait, Aquaman's DC, isn't he?
Aquaman is DC.
Ooh, sorry.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. My mistake.
Podcast over.
Those emails are going to be thick. All
Jason
right.
Momoa is so hot though. Anyway,
Oh my god.
they use crazy anchors to pull themselves down, like just like rocks with on the rope or whatever. And they go down
just wrap a rock around
30
them?
around their waist
And
jump.
just sink.
They dive down with the rock, then wrap it around, or just hold it and sink. And for 30 meters. 30 meters.
30 meters, for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Just down there
And
kicking it,
they
just hanging
essentially
out.
So watching this documentary, they're walking along the sea floor,
dragging
with
a
these
fucking
spears
rock and a spear,
and a spear in one hand, rock in the other hand, and just like gliding as if they're on the fucking moon, you know. And then they're just
crazy.
like grab something out of the water like it's out of the air.
That's crazy,
and then just
bro.
Right back to the top. It's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
I had to look it up
Fuck.
to make sure because I'm never good at the conversions, but that's almost 100 feet.
Yeah, down. Yeah.
I'm really bad at that shit, so I always have to look it up.
30 meters. Yeah.
Hey, those are live hot facts right there, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right. Live, fresh off the press. But yeah, it's amazing.
That's
and
nuts, bro. Underwater vision, 5 minutes underwater, 30 meters, almost 100 feet, and they're just down there just fishing, just
and they're
spearing fish.
They're hunters.
That's fucking
And the
nuts.
prayer that they say before they jump off of the boat every time is I don't quote me on this, but it's
Don't quote me. I ain't said shit.
it's a prayer to keep. I won't even try to attempt it. Honestly, I'll just tell you what it is. It's a prayer to keep sharks away.
Oh,
It's essentially like, we don't want any trouble, but we don't want to see you.
bro. Bro, they're literally like worshiping the sea, basically.
They
Like,
are.
they're the fucking Aquaman, bro. Like, fucking shit.
Why did I not put this in my notes?
Is this Atlantis?
Right?
What are we talking?
They're the name the Moken actually means people of the sea, which is interesting too. Unfortunately, to get around to some different stuff on this, the Thai government is causing quite a bit of issues with their traditional way of life, as well as just interacting with diseases. They're
It should be studied and glorified, but
Yeah,
of course that's
yeah.
not how that happens. When
that
people are
that
cool
area
and
should be
awesome.
fucking isolated.
Yeah, it's like, it should be just let them do their thing. They're amazing people. Let them do their thing, bro.
So they're being forced out of certain areas, specific areas that the Thai government wants, and their fishing grounds are being poached by commercial fisheries. One of the leaders of their tribe that I was watching said, it's hard for us sometimes to get 2 or 3 fish on a day.
And you're underwater that far and you can barely get fish. That's
They
fucking
can barely,
crazy.
even with their nets
That's fucking
that
crazy.
they're fishing with, because of the commercial fisheries that are coming through, and number one, the oil and the waste that they have.
Yeah.
Combined with they're just wiping out the population of the indigenous fish.
Hey man, what they need to do is get some southern fishermen over there in Thailand, teach them about some lures and some night crawlers, and they'll attract all the fish. But I got an uncle that's a fucking expert fisherman, my guy. Like, just send him over there real quick. Hey, they put a lure on there, homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Here's this reel.
I really thought you were going Forrest Gump with that at first.
I was kind of, but then I curved it. I mean, Drew has the country.
Oh, yeah.
I can't really.
Yeah, no, it's all good. You did a good job. You have
tried.
done well. Their children, like I said before, being forced into schools, them being forced into these schools is essentially causing the gentrification of their people.
Yeah, well, you're skewing the because the knowledge is oral. You say, right? Mm-hmm. So once you X-ing the kids from growing up every day with that oral instruction, and their mind clouded with this other shit, like of course,
they've survived thousands of years without help from any outsiders.
Of course, the
by
culture,
their way of passing knowledge orally and genetically.
yeah. So like when you excerpt somebody from that and then try to put them back in it, it's crazy. It's like we talked about with slaves, like leaving and going to fight in the war and then come back and it's like I don't even know like this life anymore. I can't even adjust to this again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it fucks your mind up.
Well, yeah, and the reason why they're doing passing it down is because they had a feeling that doing this instead of keeping record would provide a genetic sense of the world and their beliefs instead of it being doctrinated.
That's crazy, man.
They felt like they were. That's why they're called sea gypsies as well, because they are the sea as the sea is. Them is what they believe. Is that kind of a deal.
Fucking Aquaman.
But the thing with the genetic sense, exactly. Yeah. Except for he was Hawaiian in the movie. Anyway, whatever. God damn. Keep throwing this shit at me. Curveballs, Justin.
Gotta keep her on your toes, player. Gotta keep her on your toes.
My toes are numb right now. Okay, so these guys survived, like I was talking about the genetic sense of everything. They survived the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami without technological warning because of their genetic connection with the ocean, is what they said.
Crazy.
One of the elder tribesmen was asked how and why they left the day before the tsunami hit, and he answered, "The birds, fish, and ocean told us."
That's crazy. Once you connect it like that, man.
And also, it's not just that one group. To bring this out to a more broad spectrum, every indigenous coastal society or a group or tribe or village or whatever has this innate sense of things that we have lost. Hey guys, it's Drew Shellnut with Friends, Facts, and Fiction. I'm here with my two other co-hosts, Grant Bramlett and Justin Hammonds.
Hey.
We are here to inform you on our podcast platform, Anchor.fm. Number one, it's very easy to use because it's free. Also, if you're trying to create your own podcast, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and many more. You can make money from your podcast as well with minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place, Anchor.fm.
Because they're connected more, bro. All these distractions, dog. There's 3 computers in this fucking room right now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that they're connected to the earth, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like hearing or feeling wild animals from miles away just because the earth is moving a little bit or a certain sound is coming in their ears. I mean, like, that type of shit is real.
Or your eyeballs aren't curved.
Yeah. You can
a
see
certain
you can see
degree.
underwater for fucking
That's
a
so
mile.
cool.
Like, what the fuck? That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Like,
Yes.
damn. Okay.
They should put some of these people in the Olympics.
dog.
Sorry.
I'm telling you, bro. Need to get my uncle out there, man. Hey, get this lure. Anyway. Well, that brings up a nice little place that we all know of, or at least heard of, the story of Atlantis. And if not, I'll give you a nice little rundown on what Atlantis is. It was first documented by the great ancient Greek philosopher Plato. And we all know Plato, correct? The great philosopher. One of his books is actually like the beginning of like
I used to
science
eat Play-Doh.
fiction and shit. Yeah, Plato. Yeah, Plato. Not the Nabisco. What was that? What's this company that make that? Fisher Price?
Yeah, it is Fisher Price.
Price,
It is Fisher Price.
Not Plato. Plato. Okay. Plateau, if you will. As it looks.
Plateau.
He's a great philosopher. He was the first, created the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. So a lot of people believe him at anything he says. They take everything that he philosophizes as very serious shit. And then on the other hand, you have people that think the land of Atlantis he wrote about was just like an allegory of the world around him because Atlantis is about these great people that do great things, but then greed takes them over type of shit. So like that's what he was seeing in the fucking ancient Greek world, basically around him.
Sure.
But no matter which way you believe the myth and legend of Atlantis, it's still very alive to this day. So the story goes, Poseidon, the god of the ocean, had children with a mortal woman named Cleito. Anybody?
Cleito.
Maybe this is a sexual fantasy of Plato.
Oh, it rhymes.
Because it's Cleito and Plato. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna slide up out of there. And he had many children, 5 pairs of twin sons.
Well, that's specific.
Yeah, right?
And unlikely,
What do you
but
mean,
okay.
like, anyway, so this mysterious Venetian / Tenochtitlan style island was split into 10 parts. And when I say Venetian and Tenochtitlan, it's like a lot of river paths for boats, and then like a lot of floating gardens and crazy irrigation. And it had like a mountain in the center with like buildings around it and all this technological shit going on.
Wasn't it like a series of like concentric circles?
Yeah,
Like kind of.
yeah.
Like,
And it was one way
outward.
in. It was
Yeah.
one way in and
Yeah,
one
yeah.
way out, basically. It's like a very, very fancy cul-de-sac. In the
on water.
very massive cul-de-sac in fucking water.
You can quote us on that. Atlantis is a very fancy water cul-de-sac.
Hey man, we come with these hot facts, bro. So he chose one son, his firstborn, named Atlas, received the biggest portion of the island. Therefore, the kingdom was named after him, Atlantis, because his name was Atlas. Yeah, so crazy. And the ocean, the Atlantic. See these hot facts? Yeah, we talk about real history. The other sons were dubbed princes and were given land and reign over the great Atlantis army. Because, I mean, these were children of gods. They have the blood of gods running through their veins. Very powerful army.
Yeah. Real
Hercules
quick,
type.
did Atlas have a twin son and just totally got the shit into the bargain here? He had 5 pairs of twin sons. So the firstborn was Atlas. And then it's like, and then the other guy. Don't worry about that.
Then the other, it's like,
Skip the middle bits.
All leftists over there.
Hey, man. I mean, Poseidon was a very specific dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
He was like, "You're a Tea Party Republican."
Yeah, he's
I don't know.
The first son out.
Right.
Was the king, and then
Atlas
his
and
brother
the
didn't
other
matter.
one,
His
you know?
brother didn't
The
matter.
other one.
And then the other 4 pairs of
Globe or
twins,
something.
just
Atlas
like-
and Globe or
Oh, man.
Atlas, an old round head. Don't worry about him.
yeah. Old bumpy knot.
Maybe that was the thing. Like every pair of twin sons was like one was dope and one was like, what the fuck was that? It's a 2 try.
Yes, master.
This is a god having kids with a mortal woman. So I mean, maybe one's godlike and one's like very mortal like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe so.
Yeah. We're building on top of conspiracies here now, guys. We're digging holes. All right. Oh my God. The other sons were dubbed princes, like I say, and they were given reigns over the great army of Atlantis. And it's said that the vegetation was so rich in these Atlantean gardens that they could grow anything in the world. Even some fruits and vegetables cease to exist to this day because of their demise.
Oh, I want to try one of those.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about the fruits and veggies that they were making in Atlantis, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't because anyway.
Because we don't know.
Some say the animals that lived on the island were like no other on the planet, and they only lived on the island of Atlantis. So some animals are extinct because of the fall of Atlantis as well. And the island was home to many precious metals and minerals, the best in the world. So the wealth on this island cannot be matched to any other human activity in history. Tall temples and palaces line the mountain in the center of the island, surrounded by other islands and many water passageways. Many think that this was a epicenter for trade and a respite from travel for the more well-off people of the time. But no one ever messed with Atlantis, ever. I mean, they had the power of God in their army, and it was strategically placed islands so no one would dare challenge the Atlantis people. Not to mention they had the most advanced technology of the time. A bustling city thrived on the island with the riverways for easy transport of goods throughout the kingdom and bridges built up by stone with engravings of God upon the walls lining the kingdom.
Oh, snap.
Like, picture this.
Oh, I am.
The walls on the interior temples and palaces were said to be coated in gold, and the ceilings made of ivory, marble, and granite.
Some heavy shit.
With everything so perfect and everything in abundance, of course, a downfall is inevitable. The bloodline of the gods began to fade after every generation, because you have more kids, the bloodline gets thinner and thinner with the blood of the gods. And the greed of mortal man caused turmoil on the island. The royal family begins cracking at the seams, and the people of the kingdom become aware of the weakness in their rulers. All while this downfall is happening, a terrible earthquake would end this supposed Garden of Eden. Some people think that Atlantis is like the Garden of Eden.
Right.
Because they could grow all these crazy fruits and all this shit. It's deep, bro. It's deep. So, some say it was a great flood. Hence, Garden of Eden, Great Flood, biblical shit. But Plato himself said the end of Atlantis came by way of a great earthquake that left the island underwater and began the legend of Atlantis. Where was the island? Did anyone survive? Or was the kingdom even real? Now, some say this place actually existed, but the location is still a mystery. It could be off the coast of the Bahamas, a lost piece of Antarctica, somewhere in the Mediterranean, and some even say off the coast of Africa. But the only place that makes sense to me is the Minoan Kingdom, which came to power and disappeared very quickly. It was located on what we now call Crete, an island in Greece. The kingdom goes back as far as 3500 BC and was the precursor for the Greek Empire. And historians say they suffered from violent volcanic eruptions, which brought the kingdom to an end, similar to like Pompeii, you know. And maybe the homie Plato was just exaggerating the story of Crete. But then again, it's still a mystery. Nowadays, you have all types of theories and conspiracies around the idea of Atlantis. You know, one thing I know, Aquaman ain't real, but maybe the remnants of Atlantis could be out there somewhere. Just a thought. Just a thought.
But I seen him on the TV.
And some say, funny little side conspiracy to Atlantis. Some people think that the survivors of Atlantis ended up in Atlanta, Georgia. Hence the name, right?
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, and the airport makes sense.
I mean,
about it, 'cause, you know,
boats,
planes are the same thing. You know?
Atlanta. Shouts out to my people in Atlanta, man. Y'all might be the last survivors of Atlantis with the blood of Poseidon running through your veins.
Man.
Makes me think about that. It makes me think about that Futurama episode
Yeah.
where they go visit Atlanta after it's sunk into the ocean. Remember that?
See,
It's a great episode.
It's big facts out here, man. I'm telling
Bunch of Southern mermaids.
you. Oh man, that's. But anyway, that's Atlantis, and you know, just a quick little origin story on that and a reality check. But maybe, possibly, maybe it exists. Maybe there's some remnants of it somewhere. Maybe. I don't know.
One of the places that it could be is a little place called Heraklion. It's an ancient Egyptian city. And it was once a bustling trading port. Now it lies 148 feet under the Mediterranean Sea. So Heraklion was mentioned
Maybe
by...
the Mohicans were actually originated there.
Yeah, maybe.
That Drew talked about. See what I'm saying? This is all connecting,
Who
people.
knows?
You see what we did there? We connected it all.
The Moken. Mohicans.
Mohican, yeah, Mohican. My fault.
Moken.
No, the Moken.
The Moken.
Moken. Yeah.
So
All right, hot facts. Let's go.
Plato didn't talk about this city, but Herodotus, Strabo, and Diodorus all talked about it.
Hey, did you say where's his name?
Diodorus.
We're talking about
Okay.
old Greek dudes.
Okay.
They got weird names.
Yeah. Really good beards, though.
Great beards.
Solid beards.
Great beards.
Side fact, Diodorus was the inventor of deodorant.
What you forgot to put on today?
I did shut your mouth. You shut your dirty mouth.
Deodorant. All right. Deodorant. If you get that joke, we love you. Anyway, let's go.
So the city was said by Herodotus to have been visited by Paris and Helen of Troy before the Trojan War began.
Oh, Helen of Troy was hot.
They sought refuge there on their flight from the jealous Melanius, but were rebuffed by Thonis, the watchman at the entrance of the Nile. Alternatively, it was believed that Menelaus and Helen had stayed there, accommodated by the noble Egyptian Thon and his wife Polydamna, or whatever. The 2nd century BC Greek poet Nicander wrote that Menelaus's helmsman, Canopus, was bitten by a viper on the sands of Thonis. According to Herodotus, the Great Temple was built at the spot where Hercules first arrived in Egypt. The story of Hercules' visit resulted in the Greeks calling the city by the Greek name Heraklion, rather than its original Egyptian name, Thonis.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Atlantis is the last thing after the Hercules built in the Mediterranean. See what I'm saying? It's all connected. I'm glad you got this section because, like, I cannot pronounce half them damn names you saying.
I'm doing a terrible job, I'm sure of it. In 1933, an RAF commander flying over Abu Qir Bay saw ruins under the water, but nobody cared. Because at the time, most historians believed that Thonis and Heraklion were two separate cities, both located on what's now the Egyptian mainland. The ruins submerged in the sea were located and explored by the French underwater archaeologist, which, kind of cool thing about this dude, he was originally a mathematician and a statistician with a passion for archaeology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude's name was Frank Rubio. Gaudio. And in 1999, he heard of this story by chance of way back forever ago. Somebody thought he saw some stuff when he was flying over.
It's from 33 to 99. That shit was just chilling.
And so he decided on a chance to see if there's any validity to this or whatever.
Yeah.
5-year search finally finds it, right? Numerous finds from this site have indicated that the city's period of major activity ran from the 6th to the 4th century BC, with finds of pottery and coins appearing to stop at the end of the 2nd century BC. Gaudio's finds have also included incomplete statues of the god Serapis and Queen Erisino II. No more than 5% of the city's area has been explored by the archaeologists yet. So,
damn.
Think about, you mentioned, a earthquake or a volcano covering in ash, or
Like
whatever.
Pompeii type vibe.
Like a Pompeii sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So it's at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea, and then there's just layers and layers and layers of silt and sand and dirt once you get down there. So they have to dive down there and then
dig
sweep
shit
it
out.
away and dig it up and everything. You know?
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's intense, bro.
Yeah. So
It's like camping. It's intense. At least one bad joke every episode. At least one.
So, around 2010, a barrus, which is a type of ancient Nile riverboat, was excavated from the waters around Heraklion. Its design was found to be very, very consistent with a description written by Herodotus in 450 BC. Yeah. In July of 2019, a small Greek temple, ancient granite columns, treasure-carrying ships, and bronze coins from the reign of Ptolemy II, dating back to the 3rd and 4th centuries BC, were found as well.
So they found a temple and some ships, bruh.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is Atlantis, bro.
This is honestly one of the bigger discoveries since they found King Tut's tomb.
Yeah.
You know
Wow.
what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
This is incredibly
Which
important.
everything started to take a little turn once they found old King Tut's tomb, huh? Everything kind of got us to here now. Huh?
Actually, I saw a comment on one of these little documentaries that I've been watching about this, and someone was like, "You guys can't learn. I mean, you're just gonna drag that out of the bottom of the sea too. Like you don't remember what's going.
You gonna dig up all this old fucking human cursed shit. Like, cool. That's what's up. Hashtag quarantine. Anyway,
He also uncovered the city's main temple underwater off of Egypt's north coast. And earlier this year, Egyptian and European researchers announced the discovery of a collection of treasures in the city under Abu Qir Bay, Alexandria. The new findings considered to be the most important since the discovery of the city around 20 years ago. That's the ships and the temples and everything that I was just talking about.
shit's fucking crazy, bro. They found a whole ship with treasure still in it. Like, that's obvious. That was an immediate sink. It wasn't like a by chance. That should happen immediately.
Right,
type shit.
right.
You know what I mean?
And those stone columns I was talking about is the main temple called Amun Garp, as well as the remains of a smaller Greek temple, which means that Greek peoples were living there and actively building temples.
Right.
Yeah.
They were living
Next to the Egyptians.
Next to the
Yeah.
Egyptians, and
Yeah.
probably some Asian things was going on as well.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's seemed to be the major port city of the Mediterranean. You know,
It's
and
basically
it was-
like where you come to barter and fucking. It's Atlantis, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, seriously, it's like because it started at the Nile Delta as the Nile emptied out into the ocean.
Yeah.
That's where they sat. You
exactly.
know, that's where that city was. So anything that was collected along the Nile ended up there.
Which that was the fucking river of life back then. I mean, that was like the
Yeah,
best
exactly.
place in the world.
So I brought up earlier that he's a mathematician and a statistician, Frank Gaudio, as opposed to a traditional archaeologist.
right.
Because this is like the most boring and nerdiest way I've ever heard of somebody like conducting an archaeological mission. Right?
Yeah.
So they used sophisticated scan tools to unearth the buried treasures from underneath the seabed and sediments. They also used geophysical data from satellite positioning, echo sounders, nuclear magnetic resonance magnetometers, and side scan sonar to build this incredibly complicated map of the seafloor.
It's pretty awesome.
It's really cool.
Oceanography is what I
Like,
wanted to go into.
Apparently, like he was out there for a while and was like, "Oh yeah, there's definitely something here." And then he just took all these different readings from all these different things, and then just sat at a computer
Probably
in
for
an
months,
office
bro.
just for months, just
Yeah,
like
just getting
plugging
shit.
stuff
Yeah,
in. You know?
yeah. That's nuts, bro.
You always think about like Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? But this time he's got a scuba tank on. You know?
Yeah.
But no, he was just plugging away at fucking Microsoft Excel. You know?
Yeah, that's wild, bro. His brain works at a different level. Let's just say that. Shouts out to Frank Gaudio.
Right. So it's believed that, like I was saying earlier, it was built during the 8th century BC on the banks of the Nile. And Hercules was there. That's why we called it that. But the crazy thing is they don't really know what could have caused it to sink, you know? Because rising sea levels in that area, that was not enough time has passed for it to be that deep underwater. So the best thing they have right now is that it's a combination of rising sea levels, seismic activity, and then poor foundation building, which I don't necessarily believe that last one too much because the Egyptians were pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good at building some shit, bro.
Building stuff, you know?
shit's still standing. to this
But
day.
that
Unless that was their learning
one-off.
curve.
Yeah,
there.
right, yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, well, we just lost Atlantis, guys.
Yeah, so tighten up next time,
Come on now.
bro. Like when you build these pyramids, maybe tighten up on it.
Thought you guys were really intellectual engineers out
You're
here.
the first people to really study the stars, and you can't build a damn island.
Yeah. So
No, it was an earthquake, bro.
And George, that
Plato-
doesn't look like a dipper.
but yeah, all those things combined to cause the entire city to just slide into the Mediterranean about 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, it was an earthquake, bro.
really-
Plato
really
wrote
like-
about it.
I know.
I really like that.
How cool.
That word that you did say first, though, meditation.
Yeah.
I like that.
That sounds like some type of meditation to where like
Sounds like a
you're,
redneck saying, I'm about to go get my meditation on, baby.
Well, pick me up one of them gyros.
So what we did inadvertently today
I've started my transcontinental Mediterraneans.
is meditation.
For me, it's a 6-pack of Bud Light and a deer stand.
That's right.
Really clears the head up.
A handful of
six-pack
dry
of
corn
Bud
in the morning.
Oh my god!
You can't catch a bass off of corn. You ain't living.
I'll tell you what.
I told you one time if I
Get
knew
some
what to
night
tell you.
crawlers, boy. You catch some catfish now. There's some damn night crawlers.
Might as well be walking backwards. At least you're getting somewhere.
Fantastic.
So the Mohican
Moken.
or the Moken.
Not the last of the Mohicans.
No, Moken. I keep saying Mohican.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Moken people
Yeah.
are the obvious survivors of Atlantis. And this place you're talking about in the Mediterranean is obviously Atlantis. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving hot facts out, guys. You
But
know
the
what I'm saying?
Moken don't live in Atlanta.
Yeah. See, that's
yeah.
the thing. That's the thing. The Atlanta thing.
They
I
need to
don't know.
link up.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine that culture
You need to
clash.
get you need to get a southern fisherman from Atlanta to go over it. See what I'm saying? And you can bring Atlantis back to what it used to be, but you can get the people from Atlanta, because those are the more mortal. Those are the half of the twins.
Yeah.
That didn't really godlike. They ended up in Atlanta. And the godlike joints went over there to the Mokins. You feel what I'm saying?
They'll have a hell of a soundtrack.
Yeah. All right, now we're just talking in circles. Anyway, but
So I feel like we learned some stuff and then learned a lot more stupid stuff today.
Hey, it's a nice little facts fiction joint.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. Love it. Let's just keep right there.
So we're back in episode 1.
Yeah, right.
This is the season 2 teaser. Gotcha.
So, tell us what y'all think, though. Is Atlantis really real? Are the Moken people the survivors of Atlantis? Are the people in Atlanta
The survivors of the Moken.
and
Atlantis.
all that good stuff. Hit us up at friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com.
Professional.
And tell me what you think. And thank y'all for tuning in. Season 2, episode 1.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's it. You got it.
Getting there. This was fun. I think next week we're going to cover something a little deeper. Probably going to be a series type of vibe. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. I am Justin Hammonds, and I'm saying love, live life, because it's worth living, y'all.
And I'm Drew Shelnut. And I'm saying be kind, stay informed, and make a difference.
There you go. Bang, bang.
Grant Bramlett here. Love, kind, make difference, life. And a third combination of y'all's sayings that I couldn't think of quickly enough.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah.
You did good, kid.
An effort.
Way to scramble there, buddy.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right. Well, this was fun. We'll be back next week. Once again, Friends, Facts, and Fiction podcast. We out.
Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on everything Friends, Facts, and Fiction. Our Instagram handle is friends_facts_fiction. As always, please reach out to us. You can send any of your questions, praise, and fact-checking to friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com. It's important to us to only propagate the truth, and we will correct any errors we may have made. This has been a production of Friends, Facts, and Fiction.